everyone, it's John from What Up, and welcome back to another video. Now, we've had a ton of Wheel of Time news over the last week or so. Some of it was really very cool and very interactive with the community, and I want to cover all of it in tonight's episode. Now, I do want to mention something about my 10,000 subscriber contest. It has since been closed, and I've chosen a winner, and I plan on announcing it next Tuesday. Now, why next Tuesday? Because that's the 2-year anniversary of my channel, and I thought I would do a special little video, release it that night, announce the winner, and maybe just chat about a few other little cool things that I have in the works over the next coming months. So look for the winner of the contest on October 19th. That's a Tuesday. That's when I will release that information. For those of you who are new to the channel, welcome, and if you don't know what I do here, I cover Wheel of Time news. So anything and everything related to the Sony and Amazon production that's news, leaks, photos, castings, and sometimes I do get the odd exclusive here and there as well. So if you aren't already subscribed, please click the subscribe button and the notification bell because I put out 1 to 2 videos per week. Now, before we get into the video, spoiler warning, in this video we're going to talk about some Wheel of Time news. However, certain elements of this news does talk about the first few chapters of The Eye of the World. So if you haven't already read up to and including chapter 10 of The Eye of the World, that's the first book in the Wheel of Time series, be forewarned, I'm going to ruin all kinds of stuff that happens in the first 10 chapters of that book. Alright, all that being said, let's get on to the video. Alright, we're going to start with some Wheel of Time news first, and then we're going to jump into some fun interactive stuff that has happened with the community over the last couple of weeks, which really was very, very cool, and probably the best marketing that Sony and Amazon has done to date, and I can't say enough good things about it, but we'll get to that in a minute. First couple things we'll talk about is a new director. Now, WotSeries.com has recently reported 2 directors for the show, that's Sana Hamre and Thomas Napper. However, a third one has recently come to light. American director Maha Vrillo, and again, I probably mispronounced that. For those of you who are regulars on the channel, you know I mispronounce things all the time, and I do apologize. This has come to light that they will direct some episodes in Season 2. Now, we don't know exactly how many. However, WotSeries.com has speculated that it probably will be 2. Thomas Napper will probably have 2. And then Sana Hamre will direct the other 4 episodes because it is said that she will direct half of the second season. And this is based on the assumption that Season 2 will have 8 episodes just like Season 1. And it's probably a pretty good assumption. Now, if you don't know who Maha is, they have directed a number of different things you'll recognize as well. They've directed episodes for Picard, directed episodes for Gotham and Preacher, all 3 shows that I've watched and really loved. Now, the directing styles are a little bit different between Maha, Thomas, and Sana Hamre. However, they're all lending themselves to very good action sequences, very good drama. They all have their own strengths when it comes to the shows that they direct, so I imagine they're probably breaking it up and putting them in certain sections of the second season that would appeal to their strengths. Now, I'm really excited to see how this goes for Season 2, because, let's face it, we really don't have a whole lot of information just yet. Also, on November 17th, they're going to showcase the first 2 episodes of The Wheel of Time at the Stockholm Film Festival. So those of you in Sweden, people watching from Sweden, try to get tickets to that because you'll be able to see the first 2 episodes before everyone else in the world when the first 3 drops on November 19th on the Amazon streaming service. So that's a really cool thing. I've already talked to a couple of people who watch the channel that are in Sweden that plan on going, so I expect to hear good things and have a lot of emails the night of the 17th. Maybe some pictures too if they allow it. I mean, that's really super cool. The next thing we're going to talk about here is this. Now, WotSeries.com also reported on this. I've left links to the first article, which is about the directors, and links to their article about the composer down below in the description box if you folks want to read those articles when you're done this video. Now, this is a song, and I'm going to completely botch it here because even though I've heard how it's pronounced a number of times, I'm going to say it wrong. Al Nieto. Now, this is a song by Lorne Balfe, who is a Grammy Award-winning composer known for a bunch of different stuff, but you'll probably recognize his music from Black Widow, little tiny Marvel movie, and the Lego Batman movie, which is one of my favorite. Actually, probably my favorite Batman movie is the Lego Batman movie. I can't get enough of that one. I watch it all the time without the kids. Really, really great composer. Like I said, Grammy Award-winning. And they recently released a track called El Nieto. And again, I probably pronounced that wrong again. That translates to the flame in the old tongue. Now, the entire thing pretty much is in the old tongue. And some eagle-eyed fans on Twitter and Reddit and Facebook basically went through and transcribed the entire thing with the music, so you can actually play it and you can sing it. And I've talked to a couple of content creators, including our own Alitza, who does all of my slides and graphic design work for the channel, and as well as music. She plans on doing a cover of this, as well as a couple of other Wheel of Time fans out there plan on doing covers of this for their own YouTube channels. I can't wait to hear them. I'm not musically inclined myself, but I'd love to hear this stuff. Now, they've also gone ahead and done basically the whole thing in the old tongue. So this is the old tongue here. You're seeing it in written form. This is how it looks, and these are the lyrics there. Really very, very neat. I think it's very cool that they did something like this. And Lauren Belf has gone on record, and let's be honest with you here, he has replied to a lot of fans on Twitter. When people have asked him direct questions, he's come out and gave his answers. This is not the title track. This is not something that is going to play when the opening scenes come out. It's just a song from the show. It's really very cool, and you can find it on most music streaming services. It's on Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon Music. It's in a bunch of different places. So if you have any of those streaming services, you look up Lauren Belf, you'll find this stuff. Now, we're going to get into some of the fun things. Now, this was something that came out earlier this week. Essentially, Wheel of Time Wednesday, like yesterday, depending on where you're watching this video, the Wheel of Time Twitter account, basically what they did is they DM'd 150 people puzzle pieces. And then they announced it on Twitter, on Instagram, and on Facebook that the Great Hunt has begun. Find all the puzzle pieces, and as a community, put them back together to make a poster. I myself was one of those people who got a puzzle piece. The irony was not lost on me that it was a puzzle piece with absolutely no information. I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but it felt a little bit like it because I dig into them so much. However, this is what they wrote. Really, really very neat, a really fun thing. Now, I do want to go on record here and say if I didn't get a puzzle piece, I would have felt exactly the same way. This was just something really fun for the entire community to come together and do. There was a lot of Discord servers, basically a buzz about it all at the same time. There was a couple of Discord servers that were live streaming at different times, trying to put the pieces together, trying to gather other people's pieces, trying to see what this actual photo was going to be, because these 150 pieces all came together to make a new poster. We're going to talk about this poster here in a second. Now, when this happened, they started putting them together, and we got glimpses of an image of Moraine and Lan and a Trolloc, and it was really very neat. And this was the final image. So when all the pieces were put together by the fans, this was tweeted out. Now, I do want to mention that Sarah Nakamura, the book consultant of the show, started a thread on Twitter that basically said, if you get a piece, put it here. And then as the pieces come in, people in the Discords and other people in the fans can put them all together. So I got a piece, and it was really, very cool to be a part of it that way. I was very honored to do that. But if I didn't get one, I would have been just as excited to go in and try to put this together, talk with other people. It was a really cool thing to see the community coming together and working together on something like this. It was almost like being a part of Matt from the Dusty Wheel unblurring something. Everyone was just super excited about it, and as pieces came together, people started recognizing parts of the photo, and they were geeking out about it in the Discord servers and on Reddit and Facebook. It was really, really neat to see, and I do want to say that when the final poster came out like this, Amazon and Sony, my hat's off to you. You did a very good job. I've been critical of your marketing. In fact, it's one of the few things I've been critical of at all on the channel, and I'm not alone in that. A lot of people have been critical of the marketing because there hasn't been a whole lot of it. This was probably the smartest thing that they've done because it involved all of the fans. It involved people who were not fans, all around a hashtag Puzzle of Time, and a lot of people got together, and it created a lot of buzz, way more than the regular Wheel of Time Wednesday, and it stretched out too. This happened over the course of 5 or 6 hours before the full thing was put together, because not everyone logs into Reddit or Instagram or Facebook at the same time to see this stuff. So throughout the day, as people logged on, they saw it. They saw they had a DM from the Wheel of Time account. They got excited. They added their piece and then joined in the fun. So it was really, really very neat to see. This also gave us our first real look at a Trolloc. Now, I said that before for the last poster, but they were kind of out of focus and further in the background and stuff. But this is a high-res, high-def, really nice picture of a Trolloc, and I really, really enjoyed seeing it. Now, I do want to mention something. Some people had said that they thought the Trollocs were going to be wearing helmets, just like they were in the cover art of The Great Hunt. However, that is, as we see here, not always the case. These are actual ram's horns on this Trolloc's head. Really, really very neat. Glorious to see up close. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is this. Now, today, this is Thursday, this came out. Now, this was basically a short clip showcasing some of the Shadowspawn. Now, really very cool, completely unexpected. No one in the fandom thought anything would drop today because we had Comic-Con just a little over a week ago. We had the puzzle pieces, which was really very neat. We had the composer drop. We had the new director. We had all kinds of news this week. There was already a lot of buzz about it. And then this came out. This was a 2-minute clip or thereabouts, or maybe not 2 minutes, a little bit shorter than that. A short clip showcasing some of the Shadowspawns. We got to see a lot of the Trollocs up close and the Fade up close. And there was some interesting dialogue attached to it too. Now, I can't show you the clip because, well, it doesn't like it when I do that here. Show any clips at all from Amazon, and it's a claim against the channel, but I will bring up some stills here so we can see some of this stuff up close, and then I want to talk just a bit about the dialogue and the voice changing in it as well, so we'll get into that now. So we got quite a few different stills here I want to talk about, and they all basically showcase the same thing, Trollocs and a Fade. Now, there was that clip, that audio clip that's overlaid over top of it. We'll talk about that in a second near the end of the video. However, I just want to talk about these pictures. So we got group shots of Trollocs and a Fade coming into the town. You can see in the background there the woods. That looks to me like it might be the Terran. That is water, a lot of water there, with the banks on the other side, and they're basically coming down. So maybe we're going to see shots of them entering the two rivers, across the Terran, around the Terran. I think that would be really, really very neat to see, because in the books they just kind of showed up within the first 10 chapters before chapter 10 leave taking, and they did attack the village, and it was a really cool and a very neat action sequence. But the only real indication that we had that anything was going on was, you know, the rider in the black cloak that was scaring the three boys. Other than that, you didn't really get an idea that something was going to happen. So I suspect that they're going to showcase the army a bit and just kind of amp up that, that little bit of an edge before the big battle at near or around the end of the first episode. That's my guess anyway. Now, we've seen this image before a couple of times, but it was more out of focus. We didn't really get to see all of the Trollocs behind the Fade, but we do see what appears to be at least one full fist of Trollocs, or more even, behind this, almost like an entire army, and the Fade in the front. Very scary stuff. And we get a bunch of varied different types of Trollocs. Some of them have horns here, some of them have different types of horns, and it appears some in the background do not have types of horns, but they all have very humanoid-esque type features. And you'll notice that not many, if any, are wearing any armor. You see some leather straps, some pants on them, but you don't see big, bulky plate or mail like sometimes are described in the books, which I think is a little bit of a change, because people may question where are they getting all of this armor for the Trollocs. But I think we'll see some scavenged armor on them, but not like it was in the books. Now again, you get to see other things like this. This Trolloc in the foreground, I took this picture because it kind of looks like he's wearing a horned helmet. These don't look like they're growing out of his head. It kind of looks like he's wearing a helmet here, but the tusks themselves do look very real. And in the background of that one, you see a beak. You can definitely see an eagle's head-ish type, or a bird head Trolloc. So they are definitely keeping with the theme of the books and doing a varied whole bunch of different mishmash of animals mixed with human. I think it's going to be absolutely horrifying. We're definitely going to need Bruce Campbell here. Many of you aren't going to get that, but I'm a huge Bruce Campbell fan. So this one here, this is another Trolloc coming in. It looks like it's breaking out of a barn. So you see the inside of a barn behind it. It looks like the barn was barricaded, and it looks like he's coming through the door. Really, really horrifying stuff. And I've said it a number of times before. I truly believe The Wheel of Time could have been very easily made into a horror series or a horror film because of this type of stuff. It's nightmare fuel. It's really very cool. And again, that's just him pushing the door open just a bit further. This one here, I would bet my bottom dollar this is probably Narg. It's the wolf type Trolloc everybody's talking about. And if you take a look in the background, look at that. That sort of looks like the interior of a farmhouse, because you have some candles on a table. You have some stuff up above. I would guess that this might be Narg, and we might be seeing the attack in one of the farms. I'm not saying it's 100%, but I would love to think that this is Narg, because Rafe Judkins has said, well, we're going to get Narg. We're going to see him. He's not going to cut Narg at all. Narg will be there. And I can't wait to hear Narg talk. Even if it does confuse the hell out of everyone else except book fans, I want to see it happen. They've even showcased a lot of the death. So this is going to be gory, it's going to be bloody, and it's going to be frightening. So I think they're going to earn their 14 or 16 rating that they're giving the show. If not, a hard R in some places. Like I said, different countries have different rating systems. The US has a completely different rating system than Canada. We have different values, so we tend to think some things are more adult than others in different ways. The Europe, again, different set of values between different countries in Europe. Some things are more adult than others. Some places nudity is completely okay, sex is completely normal, but violence is completely taboo, and vice versa. So I think when people have been showcasing these ratings, they are not going to be the rating for everywhere. I think we're going to see different ratings in different places. But one thing I think we can all agree on after seeing this short snippet from The Wheel of Time today, that it will be absolutely horrifying in certain aspects, and I can't wait for it. Now, I left a link to the Twitter clip down below. You can also find it on Facebook and whatnot as well, but Twitter is what I left down below. So if you click that, it'll take you to the Wheel of Time official Twitter account. You don't need to have a Twitter account or be logged into Twitter to see it, and you can actually view the full clip there. I really suspect that everyone watching this video will go do it, even if you've seen it a million times, because it is very cool. And if you haven't, please go do so. It's really, really neat to see. They're really ramping up the marketing for the show. All right, really very neat pictures. Now, I want to talk about the voices. The first of the clip, basically, we know it's Rosamund Pike. It sounds just like her. She talks about an army of Trollocs and Fades, 1,000,000 strong, going across the land, killing and eating every person they find. And that's horrifying, but it is Rosamund Pike. And then there's some more shots of the clip. And in the last few seconds of that 24-second clip, and yes, I did go back, I did rewatch it. It's not 2 minutes, it's 24 seconds. Let's face it. To me, anything that's short is 2 minutes. That's just what I say. But 24 seconds, that's how long the clip is. In the last little bit, basically it's someone saying, and you can't outrun a Fade. Now, to me, that does not sound like Rosamund. It does not sound like Moiraine. It sounds like someone completely different. I can't put my finger on who. I'm as bad with voices as I am with faces and names. So I'm going to rely on you folks here. Who do you think that is? Who do you think's talking in that last bit of the clip? Now, I'm almost certain it's not Moiraine. Who do you think it is? Remember, I didn't say any spoilers past chapter 10, so if you're going to give hints and elaborate on them, put a spoiler tag in the comment just so it doesn't ruin it for everybody else. But personally, I think that it would be a very smart idea to have a dark friend voice that last little bit, and then when we meet them later on in the book, or later on in the show, and you hear that voice, you'll go, I've heard that before. I've heard that from the audio clip about the Shadowspawn. And then some people may put 2 and 2 together. So there's that. So let me know in the comments down below who you think that could possibly be. Also, I have listened to you. I have read the comments the last few videos, and I've decided what I'm going to do for the show. When the show drops, I'm going to do a couple of different videos per show. I'll do a review, spoiler-free, and spoiler version, half and half. I'll also do a deep dive into the show itself to explain certain things that are going on. Then I'll do an Easter egg hunt. There's going to be a ton of them, little things that mean a lot to the fans, but maybe not to regular viewers. I'll dive into all of those. I also plan on doing this, and I can't remember who said this. If you're watching this video, please, please, please write down below so I can give you credit, because I can't find the comment anymore. But someone had asked that I should do videos to explain certain things that crop up in the episodes. Now, I do have my explain videos on here, and I'm not really, I don't have a ton of them, but I do explain certain things like the Shadowspawn and Aes Sedai and the Thin and things like that. But I think this idea, as things come up in the show that maybe regular viewers wouldn't know about, that aren't explained very well, maybe I could do a video on that and explain certain aspects. So maybe if they talk about the Flame of Tar-Valon or different things like that, I'll do a short video describing or talking about certain things that show up in that episode. And again, I can't remember who told me that idea in my last video. I couldn't find the comment, but let me know in the comments down below. Take credit for it, because I want to give you credit, because it's a very fantastic idea, and I'm definitely doing that as well. All right, all of that being said, if you're not already a member of my Patreon, go over and click that Patreon link, and if you want to support the channel in any way, shape, or form, get some cool What Up swag. I just got a big box of t-shirts in today. I have a couple of Daughter Air level patrons that I'm sending out t-shirts to on Monday. Congratulations to you folks. I'll be sending you messages about that shortly, talking about how I'm going to send them to you. But yeah, that's how you get a What Up shirt. You go over and support me on Patreon at a certain tier level. And if you can't support the huge tier levels, any little bit helps the channel here. I'll send out stickers and magnets and keychains based on your tier level. You get early access to some of the videos like this one here. The patrons get to watch this a full 24 hours before anyone else does. And yeah, it's really very cool, and I really do appreciate the support. So go over and check that out. Now, all that being said, I want to thank you all very much for sticking with me here to the final little bits of the video, right to the very end. And here's to many more.